Hey!
Hi.
We're back in the fucking Balan again!
We are never leaving the Balan Wonderworld.
Oh, hang on.
You good, Mush? Hang on, let me put the Tims back to work in the mine shaft while you're.
There we fucking. Now I can hear you guys.
Okay.
God.
Did you mute us on accident?
No, I forgot to set my audio cable to listen through my microphone.
Dummy. These Tims better get back to work. Not gonna lie, I only saw with the tiny preview that I'm seeing on my screen of what your screen looks like, Mush. First thing I saw was like, wow, I didn't realize there was a Balan Wonderworld word scramble out there, because I just saw a bunch of little gray dots in a little grid.
When will they release the official Balan Wonderworld? The Wonder Word Scramble.
The Wonder Word Scramble, yeah. Your brain was making that smarter than you were at first, and it melted a little bit. All right, so if Mush is all ready to go, do you guys remember what was going on in the novel? Because I certainly the game ended. That much I remember.
Jesus Christ, I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The big divergence that I can remember was that all the characters got turned into their big huge monster form
and
completely willingly.
And Street Beat Leo implicitly just remembered all of their name, or just like knew all of their names by looking at them somehow. Which is how we got like the absolutely fuck. What was the first boss's name? Bartholomew. Like, we had a big dramatic moment, and then he just remembered the name Bartholomew. Just absolutely took him out of it.
And apparently, Lance is the original Balan who created Balan as a good clone after he turned to evil. And if Balan likes humans too much, then he will also turn evil. Ooh.
Oh no.
Anyway,
Uh-oh.
let's
So
go,
scary.
Let's go collect some Act 3 trophies. Woohoo!
Yeah,
As
baby.
as we dive into the next chapter.
Okay, shall we get started then?
Absolutely.
All right, starting off on a good note here. Attilio Caccini, the pensive Pierrot.
Yeah!
Let's fucking go.
Attilio, the pensive Pierrot, held Clock
The
Tower Kid's
pensive
hand as he stepped out of the theater doors. He squeezed his eyes shut against the light outside. Eventually, he grew accustomed to the brightness enough to squint at his surroundings. He stood in a central plaza of Christmas Rose Park. The Balan Theater was nowhere to be seen. Where is everyone? He could have sworn he'd exited the theater with all his friends right beside him, but they were gone. Even Clock Tower Kid, whose hand he'd been holding tight. What's going on?
I do still think the
Balan
idea of the Balan, like this dreamscape uniting people across like time and space is really cool. Like I like that idea a lot, where it's just like you get to know these people through your trauma across space-time in this little pocket dimension. Like I don't know, there's something to that, you know?
The trauma bonding dimension.
Yeah, that's some Kingdom Hearts bullshit right there. You see, I'm already half Xehanort. Fuck, I meant to say I'm already half Wonderworld. Anyway.
Anyway, what's going on? Balan's parting words echoed in his ears. Go back where you came from, you lot. Dawdle here much longer, you really ought not.
Fuck, I forgot about the rhyming somehow.
How could you forget about the rhyming?
I just wasn't
been
expecting to hear
forever.
it again so soon, I guess.
It's been like a year!
So
Cannot
soon
say
as
a
when we
single thing
started
without rhyming.
the novel again is what I meant. Like, immediately we have to hear this fucker talk again.
I'm like, how much longer can we wait?
Not long enough. Farmer Ted has been Norded. No!
No! We all came from different places, so we must have returned to different places too. None of them had suspected they would be separated the moment they stepped foot out of the theater, so they hadn't told one another their real names or where they lived or anything.
That's they just logged out from an online game that got shut down. Oh no.
Ah, fuck. I forgot to give them my Discord name.
Yeah, I never even got to give her my email address. Quote, Spy Kids 3, the greatest movie ever made.
Images of Checkered King's queen disappearing back into him flashed through Attilio's mind. Could Clock Tower Kid? All of them? Have been created from my heart like that too?
Wait a minute. I was just making a joke about the death scene from Spy Kids 3 where it turns out that girl's like an AI part of the computer. That was the guy's wife in the simulation. She was also part of the simulation. Fuck.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
I hate it here. I was about to say, why do I have to compare this to much better media? And then I realized I was talking about Spy Kids 3.
Which is still better media.
Spy Kids 3 is funny. I'm not gonna say
that
it's
one I was
good. It's silly.
If you're the target audience's age, you will
It
love it.
it kicks ass if you're the right age for it. Oh, son of a bitch. Oh, I gotta get him.
I don't even have a third jump.
Damn. Where's the triple jumper? It's World 5, right? It's like Clock Tower.
The water, I believe.
Yes, question mark.
The thought filled him with desperate dread, but he knew it couldn't be true. After all, his left hand was still warm from where Clock Tower Kid had held it. She's real. She's just somewhere else. Wherever it was, she found the Balan Theater. We'll find each other again. I'm sure of it. All of us. But I've got a lot of self-improvement to do before then. He glanced at his wristwatch. Barely any time at all had passed here since he went into the Balan Theater. They'd be getting ready for the first parade of the day right about now. Attilio the Pensive Pierrot steeled himself.
The Pensive Pierrot. The title that passed through his family line through generations.
And set off at a brisk pace through the park. It was still a bit too early for the parade crew to have arrived just yet, but when he got there, he found Princess
Here we
Mary
go!
getting ready by herself. She tilted her head ever so slightly when she noticed the clown.
Oh,
His heart
fuck.
flailed wildly against his
Goodbye.
ribs. Took
Oh,
off
Jesus.
his mask. I have something to tell you, and if it makes you laugh, well, then I suppose I've done my job at least.
Oh, that's fine.
Princess, I have feelings for you. I always
Yes.
have.
Holy
For a long
shit.
time, she only stared at him. Then she lifted a hand to peel off her silver wig. I've been waiting a decade to hear you say that, Pensive.
All right.
What? Pensive?
Pensive.
Attilio gasped, the turquoise hair spilling over her shoulders. Princess? You called me Clock Tower Kid 10 years ago.
Gasp.
Holy
You
fuck,
peer-
that's crazy.
Wait, hang on. That. Oh, do the Act 3 trophies have unmasked Balan?
Yeah.
Didn't know this.
It's a neat little detail.
Mhm.
Ah! Ah, nice. Oh fuck! I totally
Hey,
took
better
the
with the hat.
mini outfit out of my inventory. Damn it!
He peered into
Oh,
her
well.
face and knew it was her. There was no mistaking those features, but he didn't understand. Clock Tower Kid had been, well, a kid just a moment ago, but the princess before him was at least 20 years old. My real
Well-
name is Cass Milligan.
Cass Milligan. I forgot about that one. That's a hell of a name.
After I left the Balan Theater, I looked everywhere for the Christmas Rose Park you were talking about, but I couldn't find it. It made me afraid that I'd simply made up Wonderworld, imagined all the friends I'd made there. But I could still feel your hand in mine, so I knew it had to be real. As soon as I realized that, I got word they were building this park. Then we must have gone into the Balan Theater years apart.
Gas.
Years and miles apart, yes. It's been 10 years since I went into the theater, since I returned. 10 whole years.
10 years old! Anyway.
I got voice lessons, studied acting, auditioned for the role of Princess.
She got voice lessons. This is the Phantom of the Opera, I guess. Again, out-of-pocket reference proves to be accurate somehow. I'm just blind shooting from the hip. I don't know how I'm doing this.
And when I got it, I waited. For you. You should have told me. Told you what happened in the future, you mean? Cass, the clock tower kid, gave him a gentle grin. What if I told you and changed the past or something?
Son of a bitch!
No. Suddenly Attilio remembered. What happened to your kitten? I steeled myself and I went back to the clock tower. She was fine. She didn't even have a scratch on her. I called her over and she came right over and rubbed herself all over my legs. She isn't a kitten anymore, but she still struts about the clock tower like she owns the place.
I forgot that was the way that her story resolved. The way her story resolves
fine, actually.
is there's not actually any problems with the cat. It's really dumb.
Nothing actually happened.
Great.
Can someone look up where the fixer-upper outfit is? I forget what world it's in. I want to say 12.
Fixer-upper. 12. Yep.
Yep. Act 1 or 2.
Act 1.
Cool.
Oh, what a
For the
relief.
record, Fixer-upper is how you're
telling
supposed
me.
to get double jumper. It's supposed to be a very, very late game thing.
Mm-hmm.
And we have been cheating. I forgot
And
about the
the
opera
others?
music! Oh. Anyway.
I found one of them. We're still friends. Who? Come on, I'll show you. A gentle breeze twirled around them, sashaying through the silver wig and cast the clock tower kid's hand, and filling Attilio with a strange nostalgia.
Attilio's
She offered
is
him
a
her hand.
bit of a
and he took
powerful
it.
name, not gonna lie.
It was as
Attilio the
warm as
Hun.
it had been when they left the Balan Theater together.
I would hope so. That would,
And-
if it wasn't, then I already have the Fixer-upper. Oh, well, might as well grab another one.
Nice.
But like, I would hope that her hand still was warm, implying she's, alive.
Attilio the honey.
Exactly what I was thinking.
God.
Thank you.
10 years I've been waiting to hold your hand again, said Cass,
Aw.
grinning even as tears slipped down her cheek. Kal Suresh, the Checkered King. Thanks for all your help. You've improved quite a bit since our last lesson.
God!
Forgot about this thing.
There!
That's probably the
Why-
worst one, honestly.
That feels worse than most of the other
It's-
jokes here.
So bad.
You've improved quite a bit since our last lesson, said Kal Suresh, the Checkered King, with a smile. At this rate, you'll be a champion in no time. You think so? The child's eyes glittered in wonder.
Nah, I'm just fucking with you.
I'm just joking. Fuck you. Knocks the chessboard off the table.
We've been training him wrong as a joke.
then it just kind of went too far, and we don't know how to say no.
It depends on how hard you work for it. But the most important thing you can do is stay passionate and never forget how much you love playing. Cal was a chess champion himself once. For a time, they said he was unbeatable. It got to his head, made him lose sight of himself. The world of chess is a vicious one, and no one can reign supreme
Alright,
forever.
bro.
The next generation of players rose up and snatched Cal's throne out from under him. He couldn't seem to win a single game
Rise
against
up.
even younger, less experienced opponents. Reclaiming his former glory became an obsession that eclipsed all else in his life. Even his wife, whose illness he never noticed was growing worse until it was too late.
What?
Yeah, that's his wife. That's his plot line, is that he got too wrapped up in the chess antics, and then his wife died. This game's stories are very good.
Many such cases.
Many such cases of gamers losing track of their wives until it's too late.
You gotta be dedicated to the grind.
Died of too much chess. Chess-related incident returns. For those that don't know, after last Balan Wonderworld stream, Quark changed her username in our server to chess-related incident, and it's been like that ever since.
I forgot the context for that.
for that.
How could you?
It's been a year.
True
Yeah, it's
enough.
been a year.
Died of board game dumb.
This wouldn't have happened if he got like really into playing Sorry or something.
Whoa. Also, these Balan pins are very cute. I like them.
Nice shot.
His love for chess soured into hatred. Then he went into the Balan Theater. The
And then
theater
it just
helped
got
cool
worse
him.
there, honestly.
When he returned home, he renovated one of his rooms and opened a chess workshop. It didn't take long for him to build up a clientele of children all eager to learn from a former champion, Checkered
Nice.
King, as he was known in the Balan Theater.
Oh, I thought that was his,
How
like,
planned.
title of like, as a tutor. That's kind of a cool little, like, business, you know? Like, teach you how to play chess and have, like, a little cute little chess club that you run for kids. I like that. He's like, I will teach you to become the Checkered King. Bum, ba-dum, ba-da. I don't know why it turned into Snake Eater there, but I don't know. I kind of like that idea.
Yeah. Cal glanced at his wristwatch. Cass had called him yesterday, told him pensive Pierrot had finally confessed his feelings for her.
You can call him by his
Wow, long
name.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they know each other as.
Imagine if I walked up to you in real life and called you Quark. I mean, that probably doesn't sound all that outlandish. But, like,
That probably would happen.
well, yeah,
And
honestly,
then,
I don't
well,
think...
if we ever meet up, it's how we're gonna refer to each other.
The only one that I can, like, conceivably see myself calling by their real name is Skyla.
Yeah.
Just because, like, I'm used to applying those interchangeably in my head.
The two were due to visit him any minute now. I'd better get started on our refreshments, he said happily to himself and headed into the kitchen. After he'd left Wonderworld, cooking had become a new passion of his, surpassed only by his love of chess.
I should make some drinks. I'd like arsenic, fireball, mustard. No, let's not be silly.
Please, call me pensive. Hero is my
Call
father's
me
name.
pensive. I was about to say,
God.
bold of him to ask to be called by an adjective, and then I remembered what my fucking username is.
The young boy that had defeated Cal all those years ago was champion now. Some time ago, he'd started coming by for monthly visits. They would chat all things chess while they dined on the delicious fare Cal prepared for them. During one of their visits, Cal learned why he'd been smiling when they'd played against one another during that fierce match. The
Probably
boy
'cause
told
he's
him how
having
happy
fun.
he'd been
God
to
forbid.
finally play against the champion he'd long admired, but how when their match was over, he felt so bereft. Now,
Big
good
word.
food and good conversation brought Cal the same joy he felt teaching chess to kids.
Clueless
Boy
Anonymous.
wasn't
Fuck
playing
off, Gomez! Don't put words in my mouth.
Safe.
Gaming.
the boy wasn't coming by today. Today, he was hosting Clock Tower Kid and Pensive Pierrot, or Attilio Caccini, he should say. Memories of Wonderworld swirled in his head.
doesn't get a real name, just Hero.
Swirled in his head as he stirred fragrant soup on the stovetop. The doorbell rang, breaking his reverie. Cal tore the apron off over his head and hurried to the foyer.
Just
He opened
untie
the
it
door
like
to
a
see
sane
Cat.
person.
But then you have to tie it back up later. It's easier this way.
Alright.
He opened the door to see Cass the Clock Tower Kid and Attilio the Pensive Pierrot standing on his front step. Welcome! My, but it is good to see you again, Pensive. It's been far too long.
I can't get over Pensive as a name!
I think the big thing is that it just makes me think of like pensive emoji.
It really does.
That's what everyone's been saying in the
Len's
chat.
been making jokes in the chat, but like genuinely, all I can think of is the stupid fucking pensive emoji. No, the pensive clown emoji is what it makes me think of, because that's literally what he is.
Yep.
It has? How long ago did you leave Wonderworld, Checker King? 7 years, give or take.
How long ago were you trapped in Wonderworld?
Pensive Pierrot studied Cal's face a moment, noting the subtle signs of those extra years. He was indeed older, but the kindness and the crinkle of his eyes is the same, and so is the warmth of his smile.
Okay. I'm not gonna call this like high art or literature or anything like that, but like I genuinely like anytime someone describes like the crinkle of someone's eyes and like them just being happy, that's kind of nice. It's a nice little visual. I like it. That said, it's describing this guy, or no, it's not. It's Cal, the other
No,
guy.
that's different.
Yeah, it's just
Chessman.
Chessman. John Chessman of the California Chessmen?
It took me about a year to find Checkered King after I left Wonderworld, said Cass. Can you believe he's a celebrity? I couldn't
He's a
tell you
what?
the first thing about chess, so I had no idea he was an undefeated world champion. Was, yes, but I lost my title, my wife, everything.
My title and my wife! In that order!
In that order.
No, but that was actually the sequence of events.
Yeah.
She left him after he lost his title. She just couldn't be with him
Oh my
anymore.
god, guys, it's time for Balance Bout! Welcome back, Balance Bout. It's like we never left.
I wish you hadn't been there to see me at my lowest.
I wish
playing
you hadn't
Balance
been
Bout
there to
once
see me at
again.
my Balance Bout.
You ought to have told me to pull myself together. I didn't need to, because I knew you would. Cass flashed an impish grin at the trembling... I'm gonna try that again. Cass flashed an impish grin at the grumbling Cal. But hey, something smells divine. What treat have you got in store for us today? I never knew you liked to cook. Cal smiled at Attilio. Almost as much as I like chess. It makes me so happy to entertain my friends with good food and drink. His face fell a little bit. But I'm afraid the cheese I ordered for our appetizer hasn't arrived yet.
Oh, please tell me that it was made by Farmer Ted. Please tell me Farmer
a
Ted's
wheat
about to walk
farmer.
in the door.
What kind of cheese is it? Imported from the south. Hardly anyone's heard of it, but when I found it, I just knew it would go perfectly with what I was planning for today. But as he spoke, the bell chimed again. He opened the door to see a courier holding a big wooden crate.
Gaming!
Perfect timing!
Gaming!
Gaming!
Nailed it.
The south of where? Where they are, obviously.
A huge grin on his face, Cal took the parcel from the courier and brought it into the kitchen table. Wow, it's come quite the distance, Cass said, marveling over the postage stamped to the crate. I'm so glad it got here in time. Cal pried open the lid, rummaging through the wood shavings packed in to protect the contents.
Wood
At last.
shavings?
I guess. At last, he pulled out a bundle wrapped in newsprint and other old papers. He dusted off the shavings and carefully unwrapped it. Now that is
goodbye.
some fine cheese, said Cal.
This is a cheese.
I say this every day.
This is what the dwarves that lived in Boat Murdered were discussing. Now that's a cheese.
The other day.
There was a video that came out of down the rabbit hole talking about it a week or so ago.
That
It's
I would
so
do it.
good. It's such a good video.
Turning it over in his hand so they could admire it from every angle. Let's see if it tastes
Admire
as good as it
this
looks.
cheese. I didn't think that this book could get any funnier, honestly. I was kind of dreading, like, if it turned out that this was just gonna be, like, a really boring stream where it's just, like, oh, it's all the falling action. No. But no. No, we seem to have struck gold somehow. Again.
Cal's a true Wisconsinite.
As he went to fetch a cutting board, Cal felt as though a breeze wafted about him. Odd, considering they were inside. Do you smell that? It sure brings me back, he murmured. But as soon as he tried to sniff for the scent again, it vanished. The paper that had been bound about the cheese fluttered in the wind. Cal! Cass pointed to the paper. It looked like some kind of poster. What is this? Cal flattened the crumpled print. He couldn't read the foreign words, but judging from the images, it was a poster advertising some kind of art show.
Le gasp!
Cass was pointing to one of the paintings that seemed to be featuring in the gallery. This looks just like my stage in Wonderworld, she said. Looking closer, they could see Cass herself was in the painting. As she would have
That's a
looked
little
when-
creepy, not gonna lie.
As she would have looked when she was a child. Then they saw the artist's photograph. It's Madam of the Mansion!
Ah, yes, a normal thing to call someone.
Cal stared wide-eyed at the crumpled poster in his hands, holding it
No,
out.
no,
so
no.
Attilio
You see,
could
the
get more
translators
closely
just
at
thought that it was referring to an ad in the paper.
I studied this language a bit when I was in university. The artist's name is Lucy Wong. Looks like this whole exhibition is of her works, and it starts from... Why, it's open now! We found Madam of the Mansion, said Cal in wonder. He took up his phone, motioning
Cal in Wonderworld?
Cass and Attilio to the
Cal in
dining room.
Wonderworld.
Beside the receiver
I mean, I
hung
guess
a
he
photograph
was.
of
He
Cal
was
when
very much
younger.
in Wonderworld. That is the plot of the game.
Yeah.
In it, he stood with his arm around a woman who looked just like his queen in Wonderworld. You two get yourself some food. I'll arrange our flights.
Immediately, without hesitation. They're just like, well, I guess we have to go see them in France. Never mind the fact that they might not even speak the same language as us.
Lucy Wong, the Madam of the Mansion. In her exhibition hall, Lucy Wong, the Madam of the Mansion, spun the paintbrush absent-mindedly through
Part
her fingers.
9, Lucy Wong, Madam of the Mansion. Lucy Wong is the Madam of the Mansion. I love that.
Well, this is the part where Lucy Wong, Madam of the Mansion.
Hello, this is the part where you meet Lucy Wong, Madam of the Mansion.
12 paintings hung in the gallery, each depicting her friends from Wonderworld and the scenery
Wait, why
of
am I
their
doing
stages.
this? I have double jumper.
She was
Oh,
working
actually, I
now
don't
on
know
a
if I'd be able to fit
13th, which had once been covered in nothing but black. With each masterful stroke of her brush, Lucy Wong crafts a lush, fantastic world, the critics had proclaimed. It was high praise, but to Lucy, she wasn't crafting anything. She was just putting to canvas the things she'd seen.
Hang on, hold up. Hang on a second. I need you guys to look at this level.
Okay.
You can double jump over this wall. You don't need the little guy to get through here. That's great. I love this.
But if you don't have double jumper,
So what? They also require that you have the fixer-upper to get there. But the problem is that fixer-upper is how you get double jumper. I love this game. This is one of my favorite games.
At this point, that might just be the truth.
Okay. I don't enjoy this game, but I do love it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That makes a little sense.
Yeah. Conversely, I don't like or love or enjoy Yeek. Just to make sure where everyone's to make sure that everyone knows where my feelings lie.
Oh, you will, Clue.
That's
Oh,
okay. I'll have some weird obsessive relationship with you in your stead.
I mean, you were the one that paid the money.
And look at what it did to me. It was a mistake. I played myself. Now I have real opinions on Yit.
You are worse off, definitively.
I'm worse than I was before I paid Clue to play that game.
You really did play yourself on this one. Where's the Yeekiversary? I don't know when the game came out, but I know when we started it, it was like October? No, September. Because, no. Yes? No.
We played it at some point.
We did play it. Can guarantee that much.
She had only just finished the 12th painting when the exhibition opened and decided to start working on this most recent piece right there in the gallery. Sometimes the people who came to the exhibition would ask Lucy to sign their art books. She would switch from paintbrush to pen and quickly jot down her name and the date. The black swathed canvas stared her in the face. She knew what she was going to paint.
The Black Swan canvas.
For so long, she'd lost sight of what she truly wanted to paint, focused as she'd been on what everyone else would deem valuable, but not anymore. A painting full of warmth, gentleness, beauty, and more than anything, one that would fill any who beheld it with courage. A painting
full of war.
Of the people she had met in Wonderworld. The first 12 had been practice. With each one, she got closer and closer to perfecting her vision. Lucy still wasn't quite sure if what had happened in Wonderworld had been real or not, but as soon as she finished this piece, she was going to go look for them, her friends. She pulled out her cherry
She
wood
doesn't have a
palette.
warm hand to show that it's all real.
It had every color she needed, all ready to go. Closing her eyes, Lucy drew in a deep breath. She loaded her brush with white pigment and made her first small stroke. Red lines followed.
Wait, why the fuck is she starting with white paint? Presumably it's a blank canvas.
It's a black canvas.
Oh
It's
fuck,
black.
never mind. I misheard. I thought they said blank.
Ah, oops.
No,
Yeah,
no, I probably just wasn't paying close enough attention, honestly.
This one's uncle. You said black pretty clearly multiple times.
Anyway, red lines followed, and then swaths of blue, color after color, crowding onto the black canvas. The gallery and everyone in it faded from her awareness as she worked in silent concentration. Her family brought her meals and changes of clothing. The gallery staff brought her tea and snacks, and kindly allowed her to shower in the employee facilities.
Damn, alright.
Yeah, they were kidding when she said she lived there. But she spent most of her time in front of her painting, consumed by her work. At night, she would turn the gallery lights off, wrap herself in a blanket, and curl up in a corner to sleep.
Damn, bitch, you live like this?
Are you okay?
That doesn't sound like she's being very healthy. I thought that living in Wonderworld would have fixed her. I thought that was the whole
That's
idea.
what was supposed to happen. It fixed her the opposite way.
I can make her worse.
Every day, a reporter from her hometown would take a photo of her painting and print it in the newspaper. Thanks to that, her family told her, she was becoming quite the celebrity. People the
We
world
fixed her
over were
wrong as
keeping
a
up with her
joke.
progress. She didn't care about any of that. Lucy had spent today, like every other day since she began, the paintbrush in her hand from the moment she woke up in the morning. More people than ever flocked to the gallery to watch her at work, but Lucy, the madam of the mansion, paid them no heed. She reached for a tube of pigment and felt as if a wind had wafted over her.
She reached
eyes
for a
closed.
tube of Pikmin. Oh no.
Not the Pikmin tube.
That's
ju-
how they
it's-
create red, blue, and yellow.
It's just
I knew
the
it.
it's just the it's just the animated. Why is there a tiny hat? Why is there a tiny hat?
Don't worry
Awesome.
about it.
Balans grow in the dirt, you
Yeah.
see.
Her eyes closed, she breathed in deep. The aroma it carried made her heart ache with nostalgia. She tilted her head into the breeze, and when she opened her eyes, she saw 3 familiar faces staring at her from the front of the crowd. It's you! Pensive Pierrot, Checkered King, and my word, how you've grown, Clock Tower Kid! The pallet dropped from Lucy, the Madam of the Mansion's hand.
They really are gonna say it every time.
Jesus Christ.
She rushed up to embrace each of them in turn. It was real. Wonderworld, all of it.
I'm sorry, but it was real.
Clock Tower Kid, who smiled as Lucy planted kiss after kiss upon her cheeks, grew suddenly bashful. Hello, she stammered out awkwardly. In college, your language I studied. A little, I can speak it. Lucy, the Madam of the Mansion, gazed at Pensive Pierrot in surprise. Whatever do you mean, my language? We the vast seas crossed, from another country came, Checkered King beamed.
Did your college professor tell you to talk like Yoda too?
I guess.
This is not what translated French sounds like, for the record.
This country's cheese wrapped around. We saw you.
We
held out the wrinkled
saw you
fish
wrapped
post.
around this country's cheese! Do you have any idea how fucking insane that makes you sound, dude?
Oh? She said, at a loss for words. There hadn't been a language barrier when they'd been in Wonderworld. Then again, Lucy couldn't actually recall what language they'd all been speaking in that place.
What's going on with that too?
He really is going. I need to make that a redeem. I really do. I love that this stupid clip.
Well, Lucy hugged them all again, tears streaming down her face. Well, this will just have to make do. Well, this will just have to do to make you understand just how pleased I am to see all of you, darlings.
I do kind of appreciate that it's not Lucy speaking in broken language or whatever. It's the other characters learned French or whatever specifically so that they could meet her. That's kind of fun.
Mm-hmm. Hao Yu Chang, the Sky Gazer. Attilio, the Pensive Pierrot, and Hao Yu, the Sky
The
Gazer.
Pensive Pierrot! I can't get over that.
How'd they meet him? He just showed
Maybe
up.
they'll explain in a minute.
Okay, alright.
Stood atop the cliffs at the end of the peninsula, looking out over the sea below. You're really gonna do it, said Attilio. Hao Yu nodded.
This time I'm really gonna do it.
No one had ever made the crossing over the Attila Strait on a man-powered flying craft. Hao Yu himself had tried, and failed, twice.
And
Last
died.
time, he had crashed and landed himself in the hospital for a month while his broken ribs and fractured hip bones mended.
Fucking
It had been
idiot.
all over the news, which is
Wow.
how Attilio found him.
After a certain point, you just need to give up.
Fucking dumbass.
Now, Hao Yu licked his finger and held it up to test the direction of the wind.
I thought he was just gonna lick his finger for no reason. I know that's like a thing that people do to like check the wind direction or whatever, but just I love the idea of him just kind of licking his finger absent-mindedly.
Blech.
Like Yoshi, like no real purpose
Attilio,
behind
the
it.
Pensive Pierrot, Cass, the Clock Tower Kid, Cal, the Checkered King, and Lucy, the Madam of the Mansion, stood watching him, worry plain on all their faces. Don't look at me like that, said Hao Yu. I'll be fine. Maybe I wasn't
Ignore the
as
broken
concerned
hips.
with safety as I should have been before, but now that I've been to the Balan Theater, I've made sure to take
Now
all
that I've
sorts
been
of
to the
precautions.
Balan Theater. By going through this horrific trauma, I have improved upon myself as a pilot.
Helmet, pads. I took as much time to design all this protective gear as I did to engineer my flying machine. So even if I do crash again, I won't get hurt nearly as bad as I did last time.
Oh, good. I was worried.
Attilio nodded. I suppose people do need equal amounts of positive and negative power after all, don't they? Where did that come from? What?
That's what. All right, cool. Great,
How is
man.
that
That's the theme now?
I don't know about that, but hey, big congrats to you and Cass on getting engaged.
What?
Oh no! We were trying to keep it a secret so we wouldn't overshadow your big day. What tipped you off?
The
How you
engagement
pointed
ring,
past.
probably.
Cass the clock tower kid's hand, and the engagement ring on her finger glittering in the sunlight.
Nice work, idiots.
Glad I found out before takeoff, he said, grinning as he flung a leg over his flying machine. Makes me feel like if you two can take the plunge, then so can I. With that, he launched himself off. The cliff.
How? Like, what's the span of time in between these? I don't know. I don't know if I care that much.
I feel like it's been at least a month since they met. The Lucy, the madam of the mansion. He launched himself off the cliff.
He
backpedaled
just
as hard-
fucking yeets himself. All right. Cool.
He pedaled as hard and as fast as he could, but his stamina still wasn't quite what it had been. His muscles grew fatigued, and the flying machine started to lose altitude. He wasn't even halfway across the channel when the machine dipped only a couple yards over the surface of the sea. As he struggled to bring it aloft again, he zoomed over a ship. As he passed the craft, he looked down and saw Sea Gazer standing on the deck.
Oh, she's
had
just
her-
there.
She had her face turned toward him, arms waving as she cried, "Sky Gazer!"
All right,
She's
great.
out on the water again. You got this, Sea Gazer! He whooped and channeled every last ounce of strength he
what
had
is she
into his
doing?
desperately pedaling legs.
Hanging
On a
out.
boat. Yeah, her thing was she has ocean-related trauma after that dolphin attack.
Yeah, no, I know
Now
that,
she's
but like,
getting
what
over
is
it.
she doing there? Like, what is he saying? Like, you got this for? Like, what is actually?
She's out on the
He's-
water
He's saying it to
again.
him.
Getting over her fear of the ocean.
Oh,
yeah,
never mind.
Yeah. I misunderstood. Yeah.
I suppose that
Fiona
makes sense.
Demetria, the Sea Gazer.
Powerful name, holy shit.
Yeah. Okay. So, despite everything, we might have made fun of some of these names, but a lot of them are like actual like foreign names. But also, they make no effort of actually trying to make them like equivalent to said foreign country where those names would be used.
We're making fun of the actual names. I was making fun of the titles.
That too, but some of the names are rather intense. Goodbye, sheep.
Fiona Demetria, the Sea Gazer, snug in her diving suit, boarded the ship. Her heart thudded wildly in her chest as her terror flooded back to her, as overwhelming and suffocating as the ocean had been. Dolphins played in the waters around her craft, their
This is a
curiosity.
good void. Descending into.
She recognized the one that had grabbed her regulator the last time she'd been on a dive. Its head was bobbing in the waves, seeming to beckon her to join them. It's not your
us, Fiona.
Join us, Fiona. It's me, Echo the Dolphin, your good friend.
It's not your fault, but I still can't bring myself to forgive you. I don't think I'm ready yet. Disappointment swelling inside her, Fiona the Sea Gazer spat the regulator out of her mouth. Today a no-go too? Said the captain, eyes crinkling kindly. Sorry.
Kindly, all right.
I keep making you take me out for nothing. Be patient with yourself. It takes time to recover from what you went through. The captain started the engine again, then squinted into the sky. What the? You see that? Fiona looked up at what the captain was pointing to. A man-powered flying machine. Is
All right.
She stared hard at the machine, squinting to make out its pilot. It is him! Sky Gazer! Then that channel he always talked about flying over. It was this one, Attila. But as she watched, the flying machine started sinking lower and lower into the sky. Sky Gazer! She shouted, and saw recognition light on his face as he turned to look at her. Come on, Sky Gazer! She knew that he'd heard her cheering for him when she saw the flying machine start to ascend. She wasn't sure, but she thought she could hear him shout a faint, "You got this, Sea Gazer!" in return. Every so often, the flying machine dipped and stumbled. Fiona held her breath until she saw it land safely on the opposite cliffs. "Captain," she shouted, "stop the boat!" The captain cut the engines. Fiona the Sea Gazer took a long, deep breath, then fitted the regulator back into her mouth. With the dolphin's chattering invitation to come play in her ears, Fiona dove into the sea.
Yippee!
Sana Hudson, the Watcher of the Woods. Leslie Bird chicks were growing up. And then
Good start.
the dolphin attacked. Sana Hudson, the Watcher of the Woods, had fought tooth and nail to create a forest reserve in the north.
Oh my God!
of the newly founded town. Hat! Dapper boy!
Him wear hat.
And in that park, at the top of the tallest tree, she had fashioned nests for Leslie birds. I hope they'll come back. One mated pair had. Sana worried so much over them, she visited the reserve every day to see how they were doing.
Howdy, Rocky. We've got a dapper-looking Tim over here.
One day, she'd heard their babies chirping happily in the nest. Thank goodness. She'd been so delighted that she hummed all the way home to her apartment and even burst into song in the shower. Now, I can face my friends from Wonderworld with pride. Though what happened in Wonderworld felt like a vivid dream, Sana
What
had
happened
never
in
stopped
Wonderworld
believing her
stays
friends
in
were real,
Wonderworld.
that they were out there somewhere. She would find them, one day. Toweling her hair dry, Sana switched on her TV. The news was reporting on a fire that had broken out in the woods north of town that was home to the Leslie Bird Park. Sana dropped her towel and flung her balcony door open, rushing out to the veranda. North winds blowing. This season, it was all too easy for fires to spiral out of control. The woods were supposed to act as a
What
buffer of
happens in
sorts.
Wonderworld stays in Wonderworld, or else.
But it had been so dry for so long, the lush greenery had withered into veritable kindling. Sana rushed down to the parking lot and flung herself into her car, gunning it to the reserve. The closer she got to town, the more the opposite lane grew congested with the traffic. Everyone was evacuating. Her tires squealed as she pulled into the reserve parking lot. She ripped the keys from the ignition and sprinted into the trees. Thankfully, the blaze hadn't spread to the reserve yet, but Sana could see its orange glow on the northern horizon. It was getting brighter and closer. She found the Leslie Bird's tree and craned her neck to look up at their nest. The parents huddled over their chicks, their eyes trained on the fire. Where are the firefighters? Sana cast around for any sight of fire trucks, but didn't see a single one nearby. She finally found one in the neighborhood just east of the park, spraying water over the streets and buildings.
Oh fuck,
She
I
ran
just
up to
realized
the
what they're
firefighter.
gonna do with the firefighter thing.
Why isn't anyone protecting the reserve? We barely have enough people to protect this neighborhood as it is. But what are you even doing here? You should be evacuating with the rest of the civilians.
Listen to me. The trees are basically matchsticks right now.
The
If the fire
civilians-
reaches the reserve,
My brain went to the Sonic Destruction, but the civilians will be fine, Knuckles.
if the fire reaches the reserve, the entire city will go up in smoke.
The whole city's
Lady,
on
I
fire.
told you already, we've got our hands full here.
None of the firefighters would listen to a word she said. She ran back to the Leslie Bird's
Look,
tree,
I know your
desperate to
job
save
is
them
saving
peace.
human lives, but think about this one nest of Leslie birds and this
Think
reserve.
Think about
She has
these
a valid point
birds.
about the timber, because like increasing the intensity of the fire.
Yeah.
but their nest was far too high for her to reach. Smoke stung her nose, and the sound of fire crackling filled her ears. The fire had reached the reserve. Stupid drought. Stupid humans. A dark light flickered in Sana's eyes. If they won't listen, they'll just have to make them.
Pathetic.
Hey, what are you
humans.
doing? Sana jumped as a hand fell onto her shoulder. What does it look like? She spun around and found herself facing a man dressed in the capital city's fire brigade uniform. It's you, Watcher. Her anger shocked out of her. Sana peered more closely at the man's face. Sentinel? The two stared at each
Sentinel. I
other,
forgot her
jaws
name was
dropped.
Sentinel.
His name's Sentinel.
Oh fuck. Never mind.
It's like,
It's
Sentinel
he's
is-
also- he's in all this stuff.
Wonder-
Sentinel
was
is
real.
still a hell of a name.
Yeah.
Is Ice Glover the Sentinel of the city?
Oh yeah! I forgot that was his name.
Things must be bad if the country's appealed to us for help fighting this blaze, huh? Brigade captain said to Ice as their fire truck sped through the streets. Yeah, that forest reserve to the north has me worried the most. It'll go up like that, he replied with a snap of his fingers.
Oh good.
County
I wasn't
brigades
clear as to
prioritizing the
what
residential
what he
area.
was saying when he said it would go up like that.
County brigades prioritizing the residential areas, which makes sense. But if we let the flames reach the reserve, the whole city's done for. We'll
Whole
spread out
city's
around the
on
park
fire.
and make sure that doesn't happen.
Tornadoes carry.
Understood. Ice Sentinel of the city nodded. He glanced to his partner's pale face. Thoughts of Wonderworld floated through his mind. Ice
Me
still
on a
wasn't
daily
sure
basis.
if Balan Theater had been real or a hallucination or what. But he knew he had not imagined the fire that had led him to the theater in the first place. A fire where he'd retreated from his post without orders, his legs moving as though they'd had a cowardly mind of their own. His partner hadn't retreated, even when their captain had ordered a withdrawal.
Later that
His
day,
partner
his
had
partner
stayed-
died.
His partner had stayed rooted to the spot, put out the blaze, and became the city's hero. But his partner hadn't been to the station since. Sentinel had fled before he was supposed to. His partner hadn't fled at all. Yet, between the two of them, it was his partner who faced their captain's wrath. From the sounds of it, Ice's partner had gotten an earful. I got no use for wannabe heroes with a death wish, Captain had purportedly scolded. What good are you to the brigade if you go out in a blaze of glory? Firefighters aren't fireproof, and you can't get that through your head to get out.
Damn,
The
alright.
captain hadn't spared 2 words for Ice in his too early retreat. To make matters even worse, Ice's partner had developed a terrible fear of fire after being nearly engulfed by it and hadn't been able to come back to work. Until yesterday, when he'd come back after nearly a week's absence. Captain had only nodded at him without a word. Ice had wondered if maybe his partner had been to the Balan Theater too, but only got a puzzled look in response when he asked. That had cemented it for him. The Balan Theater had definitely been some sort of hallucination. Fire truck stopped. Ice turned his head to their arranged meeting spot when his captain barked, Civilian! He followed where his captain indicated and saw a woman glaring at the fire. I'll get her out of here.
That took like a few minutes, but I'm glad. I hope it was worth it. For anyone that. Don't worry. Don't
I
worry
don't
about
have the stream audio going.
it. Don't worry about it.
I
It's
love
not-
that fancy little hat.
Yeah, I'm glad you like it.
Ice
Also, hey,
jogged
Dachi,
over
how's
to
it
her and
going?
clapped a hand to her shoulder. Hey, what are you doing? What does it look like? She flung around to face him, and Ice, the sentinel of the city, felt shock course through his veins. It's you. It's you, Watcher. Watcher's eyes widened, mirroring the astonishment on Ice's own face. Sentinel? The two stared at each other, jaws dropped. It was real. Wonderworld was real.
God, I had hoped it wasn't. War flashback.
Things I saw there.
That was when Ice noticed the dark light glittering in Watcher's eyes. The Leslie bird's nest, she said. I have to save it before the fire gets here. Ice craned his neck and followed her gaze to the topmost branches of a giant tree, where he could see two birds huddled in their nest, staring at the oncoming flames. There was a brief ruffle of unkempt feathers between them he guessed was one of their chicks. The firefighters are refusing to do anything to protect the reserve.
I know. County Brigade called us in for backup to help with the neighborhood. We had to
Why
look at
is
the
this?
situation.
Why does this keep happening? Automod is trying to block the phrase white twink again. Every single time I've allowed it. I'm a white twink. By self-admission.
County Brigade called us in for backup to help the neighborhood. We had to look at the situation and realize we'd better serve the town protecting the reserve. This place is a tinderbox. Ah! Len got got.
I guess that one is slightly understandable because it's plural.
You're saying we can save them?
Maybe. Hey, partner. Ice called out to the apparently unnamed band running up behind him. I'm gonna take point. Can you stamp out any sparks that might flare up behind me?
You got it.
Ice would be surrounded if the fire spread behind him as he went. I'll get her out of here.
Ice jogged over to her and clapped a hand to her shoulder. Hey, what are you doing?
What does it look like?
Saving your life.
I apparently did not click to the next page, so I just read over from the beginning of that one.
He's got my back. He'll make sure I have a way out.
Are you sure you could stop it?
Watcher regarded him with dark eyes. I'm no hero, and to be honest, fire scares me silly. But I think I can get it under control, and if I think so, then there's nothing to worry about. Watched nodded, letting Ice's partner pull her back.
Watched.
Ice squared his shoulders, keeping his eye on the flames as he slowly made his advance, smothering the fire bit by little bit. As he passed the giant
Excuse
tree,
me, what?
he looked up at...
Oh, fuck, that's right. There's another fucking clock tower thing. Ugh. Have to get two of them.
As he passed the giant tree, he looked up at the lazuli birds, still huddled in their nest, still gazing at the flames out in front of them. Don't worry, I'll put out this fire and that dark light in Watcher's eyes both, he promised, hoisting the
That's
firehouse
a
high.
normal thing for someone to say when rescuing birds.
She's here to protect you, so I gotta protect her. Anyway, Yuri Brand, Bugsy.
Bugsy.
She stared and stared at the chrysalids. The boys had long ago lost interest in checking in on the caterpillar cases once they'd metamorphosed to their pupal stage, but Yuri Brand checked on them every day. That morning, Yuri's eyes went wide as she stepped into her classroom. The pupae had all emerged. That meant they were butterflies now, and they were beautiful, each and every one of them. Yuri gazed at them in delight as her classmates filtered into the room. They noticed something different about Bugsy Yuri's demeanor right away and came to crowd around the case, gasping in shock. Even her teacher's eyes widened when she came into the room and saw what everyone was looking at. Pretty! We should keep them forever and ever, said one of her classmates. But Yuri shook her head. We can't. They'll die if we don't release them right now. I want to look at them some more. I told you we have to let them go. Lantern fritillaries are used to living in high altitudes. If they don't get to the mountains right away, they won't be strong enough to survive. But we didn't find them in the mountains. We found them here, said the boy who had brought the caterpillars to class. Remember that super windy day in the spring? She said. I think their mom probably got blown down from the mountains. The mugwort they eat hardly grows around here at all, but she must have found some and laid her eggs there.
How did
Now,
I
do you get why we have
remember
to let them go?
mugwort being crucial to their character? Like, how did I remember that one specific detail? when you mentioned it.
I'll have to reread the book, I guess.
Like, it's not like it was something that specifically I remembered about them before you mentioned it, but the moment you mentioned it, I was like, ah, yes, this is a thing that I know about this character. Somehow.
Mugwort.
Where the fuck is my hat, boy?
None of them seemed convinced. Here's an idea, intervened their teacher. Yuri, why don't you teach us all about the butterflies for first period, and then we can let them go after that. Wait, if the mugwort doesn't grow around here, how did you always have some to bring in, Yuri? I spent hours and hours looking for it. Just like
that
your
would
mom
explain
must
why I
have spent
remember.
hours and hours finding a safe place for them to hatch. They spent the next hour listening to Yuri talk about the butterflies. Then, during the break, they all filed out into the schoolyard, where Yuri and her classmates opened the lid of the case. The butterflies seemed confused at first, but then they spread their wings and fluttered out of the case as one. Wow! Yuri gasped, chasing after the fritillaries as they flew away. But they were heading in the complete opposite direction of the mountains.
Idiots.
You're going the wrong way, she shouted after them. The mountains are over there. At that moment, Yuri felt a soft breeze play over her face. For some reason, it made her feel instantly nostalgic. Why does it remind me of Balan? And why does it smell like Lance?
What the fuck does that mean?
How do you know what Lance smells like? You were around him that long.
Yeah, they were around
real.
Lance long.
It's
They were
just a
around
dream.
Lance longer than Balan, I suppose.
But as she watched, the butterflies all turned into the wind and let it carry them toward the mountains.
I know what that word or that phrase means, but I just like to imagine that they just transformed into the wind and vanished.
Yuri breathed a deep sigh of relief. That's it. Fly home. Home to the mountains. She ran after the butterflies to make sure they made it all right.
Lance never showered.
There really was something oddly familiar about that wind.
This wind smells familiar. Girl, what the fuck?
Jose Gaillard, the Scarecrow.
Oh no, it's Farmer Ted. It's Farmer Ted. don't dead name my guy.
Today, like most days, Ted, the Scarecrow, lived on his farm. After the storm that had destroyed his crop of corn, Ted had been just about ready to throw in the towel and give up.
Left bracket, Dominus, right bracket.
Then, he visited the Balan Theater. Sensible as he was, Jose knew that the Balan Theater couldn't possibly be real. The more he
Balan,
thought about
correct, Dragonesque.
The more he thought about it, the more he was convinced it had been a vivid hallucination he'd cooked up to comfort himself at his lowest point. Besides, Jose had more important things to worry about. Namely, restoring his farm its former glory. Day in and day out, he had worked until he felt like he couldn't work anymore. But it had all been worth it, because he'd harvested a bumper crop for the past 2 years. He even managed to repay all the money he borrowed from the bank to rebuild, and saved enough to send his son to college.
He has a son?
Lately, apparently,
Why were we not privy to this information?
Because the corn was more important.
True. What self-respecting
Lately.
man doesn't care for his corn more than his son? Farmer Ted did fuck it up.
now that he was finally able to take a bit of time off, Jose found himself reminiscing about Wonderworld. He missed it something awful. It was
But
just
not
a dream.
his son.
Hallucination. A breeze drifted past him, carrying a fragrance that smelled achingly familiar. A butterfly that had been floating in its wake alighted on Jose's shoulder. He turned and spotted a young girl who seemed to be chasing after the butterflies.
How fucking far away is this?
I know you. The girl
I know
hesitated.
you.
Scarecrow? Bugsy.
Bugsy.
Words failed them both.
Wake up,
You can only
Farmer
stand-
Ted. We fucked up. Bugsy.
They could only stand, staring at one another's shocked face. Bruce Stone, the invisible custodian. He woke to find garbage littering the streets. Again. But Bruce, the invisible custodian, had been to Wonderworld and back. A little trash couldn't get his spirits down anymore. He walked through the town picking it up, not caring if he had to tidy things all on his own. He knew Wonderworld was nothing more than a dream, something his subconscious had concocted to try and cheer him up. The things that had happened there were too strange and outrageous to possibly be real. Still, he had woken up from that dream with fresh conviction that cleaning up the trash was the right thing for him to do, regardless of what anyone else chose to do about it. Once, he'd felt so despondent at the sight of children littering, but now it hardly upset him at all.
Side note,
He leaned over and picked up
anyone
whatever
that
they
just
discarded.
willfully like litters freely, what the fuck? Like, just wait until you find a trash can. Like, I never understood it.
That's what I keep saying, and I think about that every single time I have a little piece of garbage and spend 15 minutes searching for a can.
Apparently that's like a big
Fucking
thing with
none around
tourists
here.
in Japan, is that you'll just see someone carrying around a little baggie of trash, because there's just apparently not a lot of public trash cans in Japan, I guess.
Huh.
I don't know.
Well, Japanese game. Anyway,
Yeah.
another candy wrapper lay at his feet. He was about to pick it up when a small hand reached out and took it before he could. Bruce, the invisible custodian, looked up from the ground in surprise. A boy of about 5 or 6 carefully folded the wrapper and tucked it into his pocket.
That's
Well,
what I'm
look.
saying. Punk
You
ass
must
kids.
be new in town. What's your name?
Must be new in town. The tradition is to make things hard for me.
We just moved here yesterday, said the boy. I saw you picking up and thought I should help.
Is that so? Said Bruce, a grin tugging at his lips. The two of them combed the neighborhood together until they picked up every scrap of refuse in sight. As the sun sank low on the horizon,
Ref-
Bruce turned to the boy. You better head home before your parents start worrying. But the boy
Oh, I don't
shrugged.
have any parents. They were killed by litter. And then Bruce knew that he had found his successor. Bum, 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 bum. Anyway.
Funny you say that. But the boy shrugged.
It's okay. No one's home to worry, with my mom in the hospital.
Oh my god.
God, of course.
Oh, goodbye.
Oh, gasped Bruce. She
I'm your
isn't
dad
sick, is
now.
Nope, said the boy with a shake of his head.
Clue
She's
what?
having
I
my
can't
little
read
sister.
along. I'm playing the video game.
They'll be home tomorrow, they said.
Bruce felt the tension in his chest ease. Something told him the little girl would grow up to follow in her big brother's kind footsteps. Look how clean this place is now, he said, taking in a long, satisfied breath. It looks just like my stage in Wonderworld.
He said
You know about
aloud, not
Wonderworld?
realizing that he was still speaking aloud, and then freaked them out, and then they didn't come back at their parents' request.
You know about Wonderworld?
The boy gave him a curious look.
My mom's always telling me stories about that place.
Wait, oh fuck. The plot thickens.
In shock, Bruce peered more closely at the boy. There was familiarity in his little round face. You look like Lady of the Midnight Sun.
Hey, you know my mom's
Ah!
Wonderworld name.
Dazed, Bruce
It's
stood
Stubby's
rooted to the
wife!
spot. So it was real.
Congrats on your kids, Stubby.
Congratulations!
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
There's that one penguin in that
Um,
scene, right?
There
Yeah.
was indeed a penguin in that scene.
Yeah, okay, cool. So I wasn't just screaming for no reason, other than the fact that I'm playing Balan Wonderworld.
That's a valid reason to scream.
Congratulations. Smash cut to the chair.
I'm going to have to go out on a limb for this one. Ivan Bia, the Lady of the Midnight Sun.
That sounds
Ivan Bia,
vaguely
the
correct.
Lady of the Midnight Sun, held her newborn to her breast, grinning as she watched her son help Bruce, the invisible custodian, pick up trash. Like Bruce, Ivan had always believed that Wonderworld had been an illusion, something she'd hallucinated to dull the agony of losing her loved ones. It had taken her some time to heal.
Okay, great. That checkpoint just ate my jump. Love it here.
Eventually,
Never
she
change
allowed
Balan
herself to
Wonderworld.
love again. She'd even gotten married. But she was so scared something would happen to her wife, or her son, or that something would happen to her and leave them to suffer in her absence. So she'd shut herself up in her home, barely daring to leave. But she was getting better at facing those fears with each passing day. The day her son was born changed her. She wondered what her parents would say if they could see her now, still so mired in grief.
But they can't
She
say
looked a little-
anything because they are dead.
She looked at the little boy in her arms that she already loved so fiercely and couldn't bear to think of him hurting that deeply and for that long if something happened to her. That was when she promised herself that even though she would never stop missing her parents, she wasn't going to let her grief rule her a moment longer. She was grateful for her time in Wonderworld, even if Balan and all the others had been nothing more than an illusion. But it was real. When she and her husband had returned home from the hospital, the new addition to their family, they'd found their son out front chatting with the invisible custodian. Her son told her how the two of them had been picking up litter all over town. Some of the other children had made fun of them as they worked, but eventually one, and then another, and then even more of them had joined in to help. The best part was that the more the townspeople saw them cleaning up the streets, the fewer and fewer of them littered in the first place. Lately, even the adults had started helping Bruce pick up litter.
Okay.
Huh?
Whoops.
That was normal behavior.
Was it not leaving the screen?
No, it left the screen is the problem. The camera kept moving, like, because I was on the platform. Because the way that I picked it up was I touched it while I was in the transforming animation because I had transformed and used the iframes to avoid the whirling sphere of death.
Nice. With everyone pitching in, it wasn't long until their town sparkled and shone, not a scrap of
Shone?
garbage in sight.
Sean!
Shone. I'm pretty sure either is a valid pronunciation.
Yeah.
I just happened to pick the memer one by accident.
Speaking of, have any of you guys seen? There's this video that came up in my recommendation the other day. It was how many times can you pee in heavy rain?
Yes.
I won't spoil the
did.
answer, but I really do recommend watching that video because oh my god, it's so stupid.
Incredibly stupid video, but also really funny and actually kind of interesting for as a delve into the environment design.
And how fucking French it is. It's seriously, like, I'll say one detail about the video that they go into. It's supposed to be like Pennsylvania or something like that. But David Cage is French, so all of the house layouts are French. Meaning there's toilets in rooms separate from the sink that you would use to wash your hands. And I don't know why that's a thing in France, but it is. And so, as a consequence, everything, like, all of the houses are built like that in Heavy Rain. And it's so fucking weird. Once you notice it, you can't unsee it.
One room with a toilet, door optional, a second room with a sink.
Exactly. It's so fucked up.
Bruce didn't have a family of his own, but he soon came to care for Ivan's own as his own grandchild. He doted on her daughter, too. She's bound to be beautiful inside and out, he'd say, with you for a mother. Her son would be getting out of school any minute now, though he'd probably stay out until sundown with his friends, picking up litter around town. You know something? Ivan looked down at her daughter, asleep in her crib, and smiled. You've got the best big brother in the world.
Canned, aww, sound effect.
Cass Caccini, the Clock Tower Kid. Upon arriving home from their honeymoon, Cass the Clock Tower Kid and Attilio the Pensive Piero set down their
God,
suitcases
still.
and boys.
Stop calling him that! Why is it
refuse.
so insistent on calling him that the full title every time? I don't fucking
Isn't that
get
for
it.
everyone?
They had visited a town called El Trondo. It hadn't been their plan to use their honeymoon as an excuse to go, although once they discovered it on the map, they couldn't not. Unfortunately, though they searched the town high and low, they hadn't been able to find a boy who looked like Street Beat or a girl called Fighter.
Fighter.
Street Beat and the Fighter. Out of your friends, which one are you?
Before they'd been to the theater, neither of them had ever heard of the El Trondo meteor shower either.
The what?
Maybe they're
Oh yeah,
from
the meteor shower that Street Beat was like, I don't fucking care because I'm a cool kid and I do my fucking dance.
I don't remember that at all. Damn.
I remember.
I honestly don't either, but until Cork started mentioning it.
All right.
It's too much.
Maybe they're from the future, posited Attilio with a frown.
What are you doing?
It's possible we won't even be
Why
alive
is
by the time
Twitch
we're
chat
born.
keeps showing the alert message twice, but it's only triggering the alert once, so I guess it's not a problem.
Huh.
Anyway, the island's blowing up with me on it.
Must be a thing on your end, 'cause it's only shown up once.
Yeah, I'm almost seeing a chatty one.
I don't think so, said Cass, shaking her head. Haven't you noticed Street Beat's dance moves and the music player he used are coming into vogue? Or at least things that are near enough to be more than coincidence. We're getting close to finding them. I can feel it. It's
I
just
can
a matter
feel
of
it
time.
in my bones. Street Beat is near.
Before Attilio could respond, Cass's phone trilled. Oh, it's Cal, she answered, putting the phone to her ears. Turn on the news, he babbled without preamble. I have to call the others. And with that, he hung up.
What the fuck is going on?
God.
Turn it on the news.
Attilio, lounging on the sofa, turned his head to face her. That was quick. He just said to turn on the news. Attilio hit the button on the remote. On the television, countless shooting stars streaked through the sky. Footage sent in from one of the viewers, according to small text in the corner, while a reporter chatted away about the spectacle. That's right, the El Trandos, not El Trondo, gasped Pat. Street Beat wasn't talking about a place, but about this meteor shower, the one they named after the astronomer that predicted it. And remember, Street Beat went into the Balan Theater the day after it was over.
All right.
A place called Highland Isle. I'm sure the others will remember what he said about going to the theater after the El Trandos too.
I'm
We
sure
have to
they will.
Cass was right. Any of their friends from the Balan Theater watching this news would know to go straight to Highland Isle. The time difference
Apparently
between
they
two
remember
areas
better
was
than
too
we.
great. Too great to risk calling to make sure. They might be too late if they left any later. They sprung out the front door, grabbing up their suitcases as they ran.
Hang on, is this
On their
bridge
connecting flight,
real? What? This bridge is just invisible. What the fuck?
Oh,
I thought it was something I had to
They-
use like
maybe-
fixer-upper for. No, it's just invisible. Great.
must be one that you need the X-ray goggles costume for.
But there's also like droplets spread specifically in whatever. I don't care. Thinking about this game too hard is bad for my health. That's why I restrict it to once a year, I guess.
On their connecting flight, they managed to meet up with Cal the Checkered King, Hallyu the Sky Gazer, and Fiona the Sea Gazer. Lucy, the Madam of the Mansion, found them on the docks as they were getting ready to board the ferry to Highland Isle, flapping her hands in greeting as she ran over to join them. Yuri Brand, Bugsy. Yuri hopped down from the passenger seat of Jose's truck. He helped her get her bag down from the luggage rack, then drove off to look for a space in the dock parking lot.
Jack Black plays Street
Jack
Beat in the
Black.
Balan Wonderworld movie. No, he would never. But he would play Balan.
No, he totally would.
Oh no, he would, but it would also kind of do a lot to affect the story. I don't know why.
It's a Timothy Chalamet role.
Yeah. No, it's Tom Holland role.
The wind carried the sharp scent of the sea. Yuri breathed it in and smelled something else mingled with the salt. It made her feel intense pangs of melancholy. She turned at the sound of footsteps and saw Jose jogging up to join her. His wide eyes were fixed, not on her, but on something in the distance. When she followed his gaze, she gasped. There stood Checkered King, Skygazer, Seagazer, and Madam of the Mansion. She dropped her bag and rushed over to them, speechless as she flung her arms around each of them in turn, tears flowing freely down her cheeks.
Farmer Ted.
It had been so long since she had seen her friends. What, no hug for me? The beautiful stranger who had spoken was crying too.
Ugh.
Wait. Yuri gasped as recognition began to flicker in her mind. I know you. My name's Cass, she said, smiling through the tears. But Attilio, pensive, every now and then, still likes to call me Clucked.
I can't.
Pensive.
I can't get over it. It's so dumb.
For a moment, Yuri could only gape at her. Clock Tower Kid had been younger than her in the theater, but now she was all grown up. Yuri flung her arms around her in the tightest hug of them all. Then, they waited.
So, the news about the Eltrandos brought us this far, said Iced Sentinel of the city, as they walked around Highland Isle Central Park. But now that we're here, how are we going to find Street Beat and Fighter?
Easy! Sana, the Watcher of the Woods, pointed down the street, where a troupe of dancers were practicing.
Keen eyes as ever, my friend.
The two headed over to the troupe.
Easy. Just go to the place where we know that. Just look for the man in the tight suit and sunglasses. God.
A random question. Who would you say is the best dancer in town? The best of the boys, that is.
One of the kids tilted his head and
Okay. Was there ever any implication that Fighter was a dancer as well?
No, and I don't know what that has to do with anything.
Yeah, I don't know why they had to ask, like, clarify the best of the boys. Just in general.
So you don't get sent to some random girl.
Because
Alright.
they were looking for Street Beat specifically.
Well, alright, whatever. I'm just making fun of it at this point. What the fuck?
Oh no, the Tims!
We'll
Where'd
make
the
fun of
Tims
it
go?
accurately!
It's so funny that those things have an explicit purpose in this game, but you would only know that if this shit happens.
Anyway, one of the kids tilted his head and thought. Leo, hands down. Not that he ever dances with us, though.
That's him. Sentinel's eyes glittered. Can you point us in his direction?
Sure? Boy lifted an eyebrow at Ice's eagerness. He lives in the
This
apartments
grown
on the edge
man
of
wants to
town.
know where this random stranger lives. Alright, cool. Anyway, he lives here.
Sana the Watcher withdrew a pad of paper from her pocket. You don't suppose he draws a map? Boyd sketched out quick
all
instructions
right.
and ran off.
Okay. Perfectly reasonable things to be doing for a pack of strangers.
Eyes and Sana peered down the paper.
Oh my god, look at
Okay,
his hat!
Eyes-
Where are they getting these hats?
I don't know, but I want them.
Okay, said Ice. If we head west, we should...
He cut off as someone wrapped their arms around him from behind. Startled, he looked behind him and saw a large woman, her face buried in his back as she spoke excitedly in a foreign tongue.
Sorry, do I know you?
She looked up at him, and he recognized her tear-streaked face at once. Madam of the Mansion!
Oh my
Sana
God.
shouted in joy.
Look at him! He requests the ultimate Tim.
Behind Madam of the Mansion, others were running toward them. Checkered King, Pensive Pierrot, Scarecrow, Skygazer, Seagazer, Bugsy, and a woman who flung her arms tight around Sana when she reached them. Clock Tower Kid? Sputtered Sana. Is that you? Wordlessly, Clock Tower Kid nodded. Sana returned the embrace. For a few minutes, they caught up on what happened after they'd all left the Balan Theater. Sentinel? Watcher? Said Attilio the Pensive Pierrot, smiling at them. I'm so glad to see you're doing well. There's a light in your eyes that wasn't there before.
It's so much less awkward in Japanese.
I
It's got to be,
fairly
right?
possible.
There's almost certainly some translation work that was not done as well as it could have, I think.
Sana felt her cheeks flush at his words. I almost relapsed, I suppose you could call it. But eyes helped me out. More importantly, she showed them the paper with the map on it. We found out where Street Beat lives. Should we go say hi? Clock Tower Kid shook her head. Not yet. We should make sure we aren't too early. He and Fighter might not have been to the Balan Theater yet. Ah, good call.
It is an interesting
Plus-
thing to have to keep in mind, I suppose.
Plus, I bet Invisible Custodian and Lady of the Midnight Sun are coming too.
God.
I think we should wait for them, and then we can all go together. But what if those two haven't been to the theater already? Asked Clock Tower Kid. Ice grinned.
Oh, they'll be here. I saw the puzzled looks on their faces when Street Beat mentioned the Eltrandos when we were leaving. They'll definitely remember.
What? God.
Brightness
God,
bloomed on Clock Tower Kid's face. Then let's look for them first.
There's no need, said Cal, shaking his head. Eyes looked at the older man in shock. What are you talking about? There are friends too. Of course there's a need. No, I mean look, said Cal, pointing down the street. They turned and saw Invisible Custodian and Lady of the Midnight Sun ambling along a nearby outlook.
Le gas.
The breeze picked up, stirring their shared memories like leaves. It carried a fragrance vaguely reminiscent of Lance, or of Balan, or maybe of both.
Alright, dude.
The sun set. The 12 of them lingered in front of an apartment building. They watched as a young boy walked out, hands in his pockets, his gaze lowered to the ground in front of him. It was Street Beat.
It
he
certainly
passed-
was. Our hero has returned!
As he passed, he glanced up at them, but the sullen look on his face remained. He did not recognize any of them at all. He must not have been to the theater yet, Attilio whispered to Cass. 15 years I've waited to see him again, she said, wiping away tears for the umpteenth time that day.
Jesus.
He was always this kind of scary big brother figure in my head, but looking at him now, I can't believe what a cute little kid he is. Come on, let's see where he's going. They followed Street Beat, watched him pause, watched him turn down an alley as if some invisible force drew him onward. They exchanged glances with one another, and then crept down the alley after the two. Look! At the end of the alley, resplendent and glowing, sat the Balan Theater. 15 years had passed since Cass the Clock Tower Kid had last seen it. 6 for Jose the Scarecrow. Times are not mentioned for any of the others. Street Beat cast a glance up and down the alley, causing the 12 of them to scurry back and hide in the shadows. When they
A
dared
normal
peek-
thing to see a group of people doing.
They
I'm
saw
just
Street
imagining
Beat
someone
walking
watching this shit
around
happening and just being like, what the fuck?
Is this something you need to call the police about?
Yeah.
There's 12 of them. It's not like a small group or anything.
The 12 of them shared a smile and waited in silence. They waited as they could see Fighter, who had emerged first, watch Street Beat enter. They waited as Street Beat emerged, a brilliant smile lighting his face. They waited as he realized the others hadn't come out after him, as he called for his friends in a panic. Then, they waited no longer.
What is the point of this trophy?
To have it.
To do that,
I'm just confused as to, like, the... Oh, they can just kill it. I forgot about that detail. Wait, is that the end of the book?
That's the end of the book.
Ah!
It's
Wow.
over. We're finally free.
That's it? That's where it
That's it.
ends?
That's where it ends.
Wait, where's the fighter? Where's Emma? What happened to Emma?
She came out of the theater.
Oh, she came out of the
Walked
theater
just
at
before
the same.
Speed entered.
Okay. That makes some sense, but like also, what? The book doesn't really end so much as it stops accurate.
We are free from Balan.
Hooray!
Oh man, I can't wait until next year's Battle Anniversary where I get that world record speed run though. Shit, man. I did not expect the book to end that early, I guess.
Neither did I.
Or end that abruptly, really, is the bigger. I don't
You
like
don't
that
even get
all
to
of the
see
Act
Balan
2
relent
stages
again.
are
Yeah.
like this. What was that? Sorry?
We didn't get to see Balan or Lance again.
Yeah.
Thank God.
We got
We only
one
got one line of
clumsy
rhyme.
rhyme,
Mm-hmm.
a flashback.
I still love, one of my favorite details about this whole fiasco is that they wanted this story to be appreciated regardless of language, which is why the light novel is only available in English and Japanese.
Might be more like a budget thing.
Oh yeah, no, I know exactly why, but like, still. Great, now I've got everyone actually watching my gameplay. Now everyone knows.
Alright.
Now all of
I
China
think I'm gonna
knows I'm
call
terrible.
it on my end.
Alright, yeah.
Okay.
Well, now that we've finished the novel and know that nothing happens, what else do we do?
I don't know.
Speedrun practice?
Make it, I don't know.
I'm mostly just finishing going through the Act 3 stages because we never actually did read reviews of this game. Oh, you know what we could do? We could put on a an in-flight movie where I put on the Yuji Naka life story by Bumbles McCumbles. Like genuinely, that video is so fucking good. I love that video. It's one of my favorite videos by him. All right. Okay. Well, I guess now that we're done with the book, we have other topics of conversation. What have you guys been up to?
Move it.
How's the video games treating you?
Good.
I've been. Today was another day of packing stuff into the car and then driving over to the new house. We're going to be doing this a lot over the next week.
God, you can't even enter
Today
one of
was
these.
Dad's comic book collection. There's a lot. Bang.
Bang. God, I can't. I just had a vivid flashback to when we first encountered this on this stage, and I went into shock. Yeah, I did see that happen earlier. Len messaged me earlier today being like, "What? Like, why are you doing this to yourself?" And I was like, "Because it's the Bell anniversary." Also, this is the only time that we've played this stage and it hasn't been unfurling like a fucking map.
Oh! Oh, yeah.
It's just flat. Which
Thank
just...
goodness, that was nauseating.
Other thing I remember about the first time that we played this stage, it was just like, it was like the man is stuck in the past, and then immediately I just turn around and go like, because, of course. This world is aesthetically very pleasing. It's a shame that they decided to put the Twilight filter over it. Oh, I think this is where it is. I think this is where Triple Jumper is hanging out. Question is, can I get to Triple Jumper without resorting to going back? Yes, I can. Nice. Nice. I've done it. And now to stand here and grind those for a minute. Yeah. I've been playing more Bravely Default in the past day or so. It's been pretty fun. I think I'm approaching, if not the end, then a significant turning point in the story, just based on the fact that I'm in Chapter 4. And I'm about to awaken the Earth Crystal, and presumably there's going to be something important that happens. God, this feels incredibly overpowered.
In a game about jumping to platforms, the ability to jump more is generally pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
Man.
Alright, that's enough for now. I can make do with these. I love how there's all these intricately constructed little puzzles that require costumes, and I can just go like, ah, that's a nice argument. Unfortunately, you provided me with Triple Jumper. Come on. Who dares approach? Oh shit, I actually need a thing to get to those.
Yeah, just triple jump your way through this one.
Yeah. Damn, I have met my match, truly. A mild inconvenience that requires a second button input. What's your favorite button to press to jump?
A.
Right trigger. Clearly.
Yeah, right trigger.
There was one game I played a while back that had a really stupid button that you had to push to jump. It was the only one they had. I can't remember what it was now.
No! Oh, no! Ooh.
Wow, that was a long fall. Oh, I do fucking remember the Mega Man Classic Collection on the GameCube.
What was it?
A button, the larger one, to shoot. B button to.
Why?
You could not change it.
That's so fucked up. I don't like that. That's not normal.
That's a war crime.
I hated it.
My favorite button is the B button because did you get the shovel claw? In mid-jump, press B button to dig into the ground. So true. What was I looking for? Right, thing to break blocks. You.
Yeah, I played that port for a little bit. I could not get used to the controls.
Understandable.
ended up returning the game.
Really? All right.
Wow.
Who would have guessed having the ability to jump 3 times is a fucking godsend.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! I can't even.
Just don't get hit.
I can't even do anything about this. Fuck!
Oops.
I don't think this
He's
is
like
gonna
a
be.
ranged break.
Yeah. No! You bastard!
Come on.
That didn't even look like it was on the same elevation.
It was in the floor. Fuck you.
Dick. What an asshole. God, triple jumper fills me with too much power. Double jumper on its own was already ridiculously powerful.
I'm trying to figure out what Drucky is referring to, because I'm missing the joke
You can
altogether.
triple jump.
Yeah.
Right.
Do I have any more costumes that can break heavy blocks other than maybe Pumpkin Puncher? I'd rather lose Pumpkin Puncher than the Hammer Guy. Hammer Guy is marginally more useful.
Pumpkin punch.
I think you might need the upgraded one to break the big block. Metal blocks.
Nope.
Whoop.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to do that anyway. Alright, well, I haven't gotten a single one of the things. Where's the exit?
I'll be right back.
And now that we've finished the novel, it is now reminding me that this game is boring as dirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It all just kind of
Yeah,
came
we-
flooding back to me, and I'm like, fuck, alright, now we gotta deal
Is
with
it any better the 5th time playing through it?
Nope.
We don't
Never-
need to finish it.
You asshole! Fuck out of here. Okay. Let's just get to the end of this stage. Just move on. Still need to get in touch with someone who's familiar with Unity modding, so that I can find a mod to replace the battle music in this game with the fucking Werehog battle music.
I knew that's where you were going with
Yeah,
that.
because I talked about it before. You know, I can just add that in myself. Fuck it.
I've used Unity before. I haven't done any modding in it, but I might as well figure that out.
I've looked into it.
There it is.
A shiny thing!
I did it.
Yay!
Can't Sonic double jump as a werehog? Yeah. That's why they call that's lycanthropy makes you is a transition as well.
Yeah.
If you are a person who has transitioned from one state of being to another, that means that you are trans, and therefore it gives you a double jump.
All werewolves are trans. You heard it here first, folks.
Exactly. Speaking of trans werewolves, you know what game I think would be really fun to stream at some point? It's a Sierra game. It's a FMV Sierra game. Shit, what is it called? Is it Adrian Knight? I think it is. I don't know. But in the first game...
I have not heard of this.
In the first game in the series, the protagonist is played by Tim fucking Curry. Somehow.
The Sierra game?
Yeah. But in the sequel, he is definitely not played by Tim Curry. But he is played by an extremely talented actor who is, like, genuinely doing, like, an amazing job, especially considering the fact that he has to live up to the legacy of Tim fucking Curry. And, I don't know, but the whole plot of the game is very cool. Wait! Shiny egg! Shiny egg!
Oh,
Shiny Tim.
Little
Bunny!
white boy. Little white boy.
good bunny.
So I guess while we're here, can someone look up how to get the ultimate Tim? I know it's not a quick process, but as long as we're doing things in this game, we might as well give it a shot. If we cooked a Tim for curry, how would it taste? I don't know, but all I can think of is the Timbits thing that you made. It was an excellent little drawing.
So, there aren't any mods yet that would replace the Balan Wonderworld battle theme with the Werehog battle theme.
Of course
but
not.
I did find a mod on Game Banana that replaces the mini boss theme in Sonic 3 and fucking Knuckles with the Balan Wonderworld battle theme.
Oh,
What?
Okay. Great. Sonic fans will really do anything.
I guess.
Fucking insane. Gabriel Knight, that's what it is. Sins of the Father is the sequel. But I feel like this crowd would particularly enjoy that game. And by this crowd, I mean Quark and also Gomez.
What? Sorry, I'm having a really hard time focusing.
No, you're good. This game is boring as dirt.
Understandable.
But I was talking about a Sierra game, Gabriel Knight. Oh, goodbye.
Oh, okay. Not Loser Suit?
No. Almost as good, though.
What the fuck is the point?
Look, I don't think I'm allowed to stream Leisure Suit Larry is the problem. Quark, you know what? You know what I will do for you sometime? I will personally record we will sit down and we will play through Leisure Suit Larry, and I will upload a YouTube version.
God,
edit it
no,
out.
we don't need to.
Now, I do find those games genuinely to be fairly funny at times. Okay,
They're just so bad that they get charming.
I know exactly what you mean. Not a review, just a playthrough. But yeah, Gomez, we were talking about a Sierra game, an old school point and click Sierra game that's fully FMV. called Gabriel Knight 2: Sins of the Father. It's a cool ass game. Oh no, enemies.
We reviewed
Anyway.
Leisure Suit Larry. At the end, he has to gunfight with Leisure Suit Larry real.
What?
In true.
We're going to play
viewer
through
prediction.
every Leisure Suit Larry game, and then we're going to rank them like with the Sonic.
You could probably do that for like the Sierra games in general. Top of the list is King's Quest 6 though. Fucking love that game.
Obviously.
Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation. Alexander pulls out his magic map. Yippee!
That is Galaxy Brain move.
Oh, Sins of the Father is the first game. The Beast Within, a Gabriel Knight mystery game, is the second game. That's what it is. Whee! This is the first degree of speed that I've felt in this game. Oh,
Ow.
son of a bitch. Son of a
And there
bitch.
it goes.
Hey,
Nailed it. Wait, is it in the goo?
it is inside. He missed his chip.
Got him!
Jeez.
What the fuck?
Gaming!
Items when you transform.
Yeah, anytime that you transform, you get complete iframes.
Are you supposed to get that, or is it like you just...
Shout out to the model being wrong, by the way. The pedals are supposed to be either curled up or unfurled when you're spinning. Sometimes it just freaks out and does both at the same time. Nice. So from my recollection of when we first did the Act 3 stages, the stage that broke me and that made me quit was World 9, the World 9 Act 3 stage. So, you know, fingers crossed I'm mentally prepared for that, I guess. We could also shift to ring racers if we so desire. But I do want to at least see each of the stages once before we wrap up. Deal.
Deal!
Need to wait until the little white boy shows up. Where's my little
See
white
you,
boy?
Gomez.
Good night, Gomez.
Good night.
Good night.
Thanks for hanging out. Alright. World 9. Oh, no, I forgot. I think it was actually World 11, the firefighter world, that broke me. I don't remember at all.
What did it
That
broke
sounds
Murray?
about right. That world sucks.
Yeah, that world is garbage. We're in World 9, so it's the fucking... Oh. Oh, Mary Ghost, we're really in it now. Balan Wonderworld gameplay is pretty solid sleep aid, honestly. It's dull as fuck. I'm not even gonna bother with any of the trophies at this point. I'm just gonna go to the end. Train tracks. Are you here? Here we go. Choo choo! I do love the stovepipe hat as the chimney on the train. It's still cute. This game's designs still have no right being as good as they are. Also, weird thing that I didn't really point out about this game at any point other than this. World 9 is the only world where both Act 1 and Act 2 have unique songs. Give me that thing. Give me that fucking thing. Yeah, because Act 1 is just the regular circus theme, and then Act 2 is the sinister ghost house theme. Choo-choo! Oh, I probably should have hit that switch. Cobbled Deep Slate? I haven't played Minecraft recently enough to actually recognize what that is, if I'm being honest.
It's a bit block.
There's so many different random blocks now.
Yeah, most of them are just used for aesthetics, which honestly, cool. Kind of like that. Whoa, that was
Whoa.
close. Not a fan of that.
I went under those tracks.
Jack.
Choo-choo. Also, all the I'm not gonna let this go unnoticed. All the Act 3 stages have just been reused stage layouts.
Well, that's not surprising in the slightest, if I'm honest.
Yeah. Whoa. Ha. Whoa. Ooh. Ooh. How have I not hit it yet? Okay, I guess I got it. How? I don't know,
What
but
does that do?
good question. God, we are so close to
Hat
actually.
back on, boy.
What was that? Sorry.
Put your hat back on, boy.
Put that hat back on. We are so damn close to actually playing Minish Cap.
Oh my god, we can play a good game.
Yeah, I mean they're
That happens so rarely.
most of the Sonic games that we've been playing recently have been good, but there's just been a lot of them. I'm ready to move on. I love Sonic, and I'm very excited to finish up Shadow Generations, but holy fuck, it's been a lot of Sonic. And to be clear, this was all expected. I knew that this was what I was getting into when I committed to the 3D Sonic Marathon, but like, you know, I can still get fatigued even if I'm excited about something, you know?
Absolutely.
I'm suffering from Sonic fatigue.
Can you follow it up with Spark?
Clearly. I did consider that. No! Goodbye, Train Boy.
That's
This
not
is so
good.
sad.
Why are there no fucking costumes in the Act 3 stages, by the way? That's so annoying.
There are. There's
Because
special
they're
ones.
difficult.
Yeah, they're just the special ones. I do want to get back to the Spark games, though, on stream. I think that they are very cool, and I would like to play them. But I'm not going to be doing that right away. Oh, fuck off! I need Train Boy!
Of course you do. Egg.
Should have known better than to let yourself die.
Should have known better than to be bad at the video game, idiot.
Like, get it together, man.
Do I have any Train Boys left? I do. Okay, good.
One whole train boy.
Climb aboard, Train Boy!
This is our last chance. You said it, man.
Oh, fuck!
No, jump jumper!
I was distracted by turning off the music. I turned on the werewolf music again. It fucked me over. I've been betrayed. Alright, now we're good to go. Choo-choo. God, the music really does not stop. Ah! Trail Canyon who? Oh.
Okay.
Ah, got him.
Aha!
Ah, Willy Wonka. What the fuck?
Momentum!
What the fuck? I hate this game. This game's so bad. Alright, if I lose this train boy, I'm just quitting and we're moving on. I also wouldn't mind ending this stream early. Just in general.
That would be fine.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have to go for the full 3 hours. It feels like it'd be exhausting. I am glad that we got to the end of the novel, though. Like, genuinely, would not have been able to live through all that disappointment without it. We need to find more. Oh, you know what I should do? I should have one of you play Yeek through Parsec, and then I'll just read Les Mis when it's time to play Yeek. Ah.
Aye!
Aye. Oh!
There's a switch over there.
There is. I'm not going for it. Huh?
Oh!
Oh! Oh! Oof.
God, that's so stupid.
So stupid.
All momentum just gone the moment you leave the rail.
Yeah, that's just this game's physics in general. They're just like that. They're ass. Much like Monkey Train Boy's train ass that he has. Dragoni, do we still have that image of the tier list that we made of all the costumes at one point?
Let me go looking.
I don't know if it's on your hard drive or anything, but it's probably somewhere in live text or something. Oh, excuse me. What's up with these radioactive weeds growing around this thing?
I do not have it now, and I have not found it in 30 seconds of searching on the server, so I'm not entirely sure what it'd be under.
That's fine. I was just curious. Alright, time for my 3 least favorite stages. Art World, Firefighter World, and Garbage World. Accurately named, I think, that last one.
You have to be more specific, though.
Yeah. literal trash. But this one's art first. Ugh, God, I hate this stage. Alright. And the lighting on this stage is also just, so much better.
Blue fog.
It really is.
Yeah, baby.
It really is just the Twilight film aesthetic. They just smeared some blue gunk over the camera lens.
Ugh.
Escher who? Oh, 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 no. The camera clipped out of bounds there for a second, and I was reminded of my speed run. That's another one of the reasons that I hate this stage, is because doing the speedrun strat was annoying. It was cool to actually pull off, but getting it to happen was so much. That's why speedrunners practice.
God, imagine practicing.
For this game. Shoutouts to Chiron, by the way. Absolute wonderful speedrunner. Holds the world record in, I believe, both Balan Wonderworld and Billy Hatcher.
I don't know if that's correct, but he has had the record for both at some point.
Yeah. I had to guess the competition for Balan Wonderworld hasn't exactly been steaming hot.
Gotta say, you're probably right about that.
Oh, I love cheating. Cheating is fun and easy and it's free. How long ago did we play Rise Star? It must have been at least 3 years at this point. It was still back when I was at the apartment. So it had to be like 2021, 22. Basically, I'm just reminiscing about much better platformers. Still need to find a way that I can get Rise Star Orbit on my redeem. No!
Oh, it's just a cheat now.
Also, I love how I picked the wrong outfits to correspond.
Funny you
with
had
the
ladder
stage.
man.
Fantastic time to have nothing you can fucking jump.
No, I can jump with this guy, just not high enough. The
Can't
ladder
jump
man.
forward.
Where's the ladder? Is this the ladder man? This is the ladder man, I think.
Yeah,
I think that's ladder guy.
I can't believe that literally they thought of, you know what'd be good in this platforming game? The ability to ascend. I've got it!
ladder.
A ladder!
No, better idea. How about a rocket that goes up very, very slowly and cannot move horizontally at all?
Brilliant!
Give this man a promotion.
Yuji Naka personally signs his check. Make said power a consumable. Well, that's already that's a given.
Oh,
Ah! I've given up. We're moving on to the next stage. Okay. Firefighter world, here we go. And then we just got one more world. Fuck. You know, this is probably not made any easier by the fact that I have not had my ADHD meds for the past 2 days. I put in a refund,
probably
like a
not.
refill request, and then there was a And then there was an alert saying that my doctor was on vacation, so they wouldn't be able to fill it. And I'm like, great. A very specific time frame in which it would be ideal to have that. Can I not put that fire out? Okay. What's the fucking point of being a firefighter if I can't put fires out?
Save birds, apparently, obviously.
Tell me what's wrong with this picture, by the way. Oh no! I would have been able to make that even without the triple jump. That's just a spotlight coming from nothing.
It's coming from the Lord.
The orb. The glow orb.
Dragoni, let's not kid ourselves. God had nothing to do with the production of this game. Look at that seam in the lava.
Ugh.
Oh no! Oh hey.
I'm
Is that
fine.
why that God is involved in the production of most games?
Certainly wasn't involved in the production of this one. Get me off this thing. Other game that God was not involved in the production of, fucking LA Noire. I really do like that game as an end result, but it was not worth the production cycle. Because holy fuck. I didn't even need that.
But you proved you could, and that's what matters.
Genuinely a little bit shocked that the novel didn't give us any kind of closure as to what happened to Balan after the kids left. Kids? Everyone.
Oh, he died.
Oh, damn. All right. Glad to have some closure on that. Ding.
I guess the implication is that it's like a cycle where Balan becomes Lance, creates Balan, becomes Lance, etc.
I think that's a neat
Or
idea. Unfortunately, if you get attached to a character, you don't want to see them succumb to their vices. So generally speaking, it's not a, I don't know. Get out of there. Do you know where that's been? This would not cool that off that quickly. You would step on it and your boots would melt directly onto it. Stage ending, woohoo! One more to go.
Fuck.
Get me out of here.
How long until we never have to look at a Balan again?
Oh, we're doing this again next year.
We don't have anything else to do.
Yeah, and?
By then, Clue
You're
will
just
be
gonna
a
not
upright
celebrate the
speedrun.
Bal anniversary? Are you insane?
I hope we will.
Look, if Bumbles McFumbles, as long as Bumbles McFumbles continues to make Balan Wonderworld videos on the Bal anniversary, I will continue to do this. I am mostly serious about that. Oh, this is the stage that I cheated and skipped. Unfortunately, I don't have any of the things that I used to cheat and skip. Except double jumper.
Yeah, you're cursed with the to actually play the video game.
Damn. I still remember this was the level when I found out that this level was a was an auto scroller, that I literally went into the basement fridge and grabbed a beer, and cracked it open, despite not liking beer or drinking beer under normal circumstances. Oh, Jesus Christ. How could I forget? The Torment Nexus. The hit novel, sci-fi novel, Don't Create the Torment Nexus. Son of a bitch! Oh my god, leave me alone. Just leave me be. If I never have to hear this song again, it will be too soon.
Look, your puzzles, I can triple jump. Oh.
Woo! Woo!
Woo!
Yippee! Woohoo! Something about that statue spinning ominously in the middle of the air is kind of cool.
You expect like a with that pose especially. Like, behold my powers! I rotate the very world around you!
Behold! Corn! We're done! We're done! We're done!
Tree!
Video game
Yeah.
is over! We've Balaned our last Wonderworld. Until next year.
You know, with the novel done, there really is no reason to come back to this next year.
Yeah,
Just
but
because Bumbles, it doesn't mean you have to, and force the rest of us to.
I am intrinsically tied to this video game. Like, genuinely, I do have a degree of attachment to this game, but I don't... I do want to find something
Only
new to
suitable for
do
small
with
birds.
it before we return to it. Whether that's modding the fuck out of this version, or finding a way to... Balan Wonderworld 3, the search for more money. Oh, man. That would imply that the game made money in the first place. Where's my little white boy? There he is. He's not white anymore.
He's been transformed.
Happy transition, little white boy.
Can you double jump now?
Yeah, probably. Alright, what are we doing next week, guys?
I don't know.
Good question.
Mush, you said
Why
that
not?
you were gonna be in the process of moving, and so you wouldn't be able to do stream
I'm
stuff
yeah,
for a while.
basically gonna be unavailable the entire week.
Okay. Well, you better be in the chat at least for when we finish off Shadow Generations next week.
I
And then,
will make an attempt.
or at the very least catch the VOD, because holy fuck, the finale of Shadow Generations is one of the coolest fucking things ever. So good. Anyway, so, other than that, I guess that's all I've got. No one ever said the money was from the first game. You're right! It's the search for more stolen mobile game assets. Oh god, I clicked into the game with the mouse and oh god, what's the pause button in this?
That would probably be just two buttons, Clueless.
Oh my god. Left shift and right shift moves the camera.
You'll have to
What
see
the
the P controls are just as unhinged as the rest of the game.
What is the fucking pause button?
Escape? Isn't it then? I'm
No,
guessing?
it's not escape.
Enter?
No, it's not enter.
Tab.
I'm pushing tab.
E.
Tilde. Q.
Check the check the controls section.
I can't. That's in the
Pause
pause
to get to that.
menu.
Pause with the controller then.
No. At this point, I'm committed. Okay, fine. Home?
Home.
Oh,
Middle
no one
mouse
uses
click.
that button.
Home.
Middle
Or-
mouse click.
Center mouse click?
What the hell?
The
You
mouse
have,
wheel!
like,
Clicking the
40
mouse
buttons.
wheel! Oh my
On a
god.
keyboard.
Okay, you know what?
Jesus
You know what? Last thing we're gonna do in this game for this year, is I'm gonna try playing through stage 1 with the fucking keyboard controls. Pause button? Alright! C and... Oh. Oops. Okay, you know what? I guess what we're gonna do instead is we are going to, fight the first boss, because apparently I can't beat stage 1 again until I do that.
Oh yeah. That's how it works.
This is like what? Bartholomew was this one?
Yeah, Bartholomew is his name.
God.
What a moniker, truly.
Should I bring Triple Jumper to a boss fight? It's not really going to be a huge asset.
No, I'm not really going to. I just had him in my inventory still. God, this feels wrong. I don't play games with keyboard, just broadly speaking, but I play platformers with keyboard even less. Oh, my man, Jose.
Corn.
Corn.
Corn man. Corn man. Everyone point at the corn man. Gentlemen, behold! Corn! Oh, that's right, we get to see this cutscene too. Never forget. How fucking unhinged this game is.
Boop.
Yep.
No awoo, $500 penalty. God, turning the camera with my fucking mouse is gonna kill me.
Use a shift button, son.
You think I can reach the other shift button like that? You know what this
I
music
think he's
randomly...
behind you.
Yeah, he is. Oh god, the mouse is really something else. Shit. Dead. I did it. I am the Balan gamer champion. This is not a challenge. This is not a title that I'm proud to own, for the record.
Undefeated
hell yeah.
champion of Balan.
Sometimes we cry.
Oh fuck, that's right. It's the
Oh,
shitty
Freddy's
English
English now.
version.
Sometimes we can't see anything, but don't give up. You are not alone.
Hello, Doc. We just beat the game.
Made it just in time.
I know what we're gonna do next year for the Balan anniversary. I'm going to live stream myself learning this choreography.
God.
God. god, the way they shuffle their little feet left and right.
Sailor Moon.
Steel Samurai played Tim Fallen songs. Fucking share that shit right now. I don't care about this cutscene. I already helped out my boy. All right. Well, on that note, I'm gonna go to bed. I'm tired.
Okay.
Yeah. It's late.
Oh, hang on. I should probably save my progress, just in case. All right. That's all the Balan I've got in me for this year. Good night, everyone. Thanks for watching.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Night.
See ya.